sorry.
Okay.
Is this where we can, if, for the long-term project, I guess the front, I know you said to wait, but where would the front entrance?
Let me get to that one, all right? Let me follow this.
So just, yeah, because
Let's talk about the first one first.
yeah, we have researched for several of those items, and most of them become due in maybe even in 2020. So some of the projects are partially funded already, and we will have to see
Right.
what's the difference.
In other words, the committees have to work with each other. Like, I'm not just gonna, I expect like Renee to come on his staff to the meeting or whatever, and we all have to work on this together. The second project, is asphalt ramps and roads, and basically, we really can't do anything. We still have, Emerald Bay is still having construction. We're gonna be doing construction at the front. So logic says that that'll be done towards the end. But the point I wanna bring up is that we've talked about having sidewalks all around. So that would be part of the project, asphalt ramps and roads.
The hardscape, the sidewalks?
Yeah, the sidewalks and the asphalt, I see that at the end after we finish up all the projects. But, basically, Renee, what's in the budget right now though? I mean, just for the board's curiosity, we have.
Do you have it there?
Reserves for the, I don't think so.
No,
You know, what I would like you to do, if you could send out an email to the board, Brian,
we can-
Michelle, can we
so-
get an
Brian, what we should do is add a column to this spreadsheet,
Each item.
which says
Yeah.
a reserve amount for the project and a date due.
Yeah.
Or year due.
Can you email it to us before next Wednesday's meeting, okay? Okay. The next project is the front side entrance, yard clipper and pond. Before I get into this, because if you look at Tony's plan here, there's an expensive alternative, of doing the front entrance at the time, probably a couple $100,000. I was asked to take on by Matt when, last October, the security, to look into the security, because everybody was complaining about Roslyn. I'll repeat myself very briefly. And basically, as I had stated, it wasn't Roslyn security. No matter, we have problems at the front gate, it has nothing to do with the security company. You could bring in the #1 rated company in the world, and we're still gonna have the same problems. After spending $35, and this affects this project and how much we're gonna spend, I truly believe that the problem is the communication. And I met with Michelle today. She's been here already, and these are her observations. We both agreed, mutually agreed, that there's a communication problem at the front gate, okay? We don't have a uniform visitor access rule with the 4 buildings. It all has to be the same. So we had meetings with all the managers, they all came together. We started the meeting saying if you don't have an authorization, a pre-authorization, your guests can't come in. But that was just an initial statement. So the managers all worked together in several meetings with Eric, and they came up with a bunch of policies that could work for the 4 buildings. Also for vendors, special circumstances for vendors who visit us constantly. Basically, like what would be the protocol? Basically, you have to register your guests either through the app or through the front desk, okay? And there will be a courtesy phone call, and then, after a minute or 2 or 3 minutes, if there's still no answer, the guests would have to leave, and the vendors circle around and try to locate the person after. I'm just giving an example. They came up with some good ideas, but we never got a chance to implement it. So what I'm doing is, since this is not gonna be part of my long-term project, but since I was on it, and this is one of my projects, with the board's approval at the last meeting, they gave me the go-ahead to restart this project again. Michelle's up to date on it. We met today on that project. Also, we're meeting with the managers next Thursday, and we're gonna get all the feedback. And I have to tell you, a lot of the feedback was to implement this, we need to communicate to the people. There's an app out there. A lot of our residents back in October, I don't know if it's changed now because I know a bunch of emails went out reintroducing the app, but there's 2 issues with the app. A lot of people do not know about it. And for this uniform visitor access rule to work and to really have a good positive flow of the traffic coming in, and hopefully will eliminate excessive, a massive amount of money that we thought we would have to spend at the front gate. I know there's still some security issues and liability issues, we addressed that. But if we can get this uniform visitor access rule approved by each of the buildings boards, and the managers all agree on it, and plus the managers, I have to tell you, I sat with them at several meetings, they want this more because it's gonna make their job, they wanna know who is in their building, whether it's one person or who's having parties and whatever. And we have to get this implemented. Now, the second problem with the app is that according to the managers and even residents in my building, there's a lot of issues, things that still need to be fixed with the app.
Yep.
So, you know, so once the boards approve it, the way I envision this is once the buildings approve it, we just can't go right ahead. There's gonna have to be a 60 to 90 day training period in each of the buildings. And HOA will be responsible for that. You know, fixing the flaws in the app, educating the people about the app who don't know there's an app. And so that's what we're working on. Now, bringing this back to the project, the reason why I mentioned this, I truly believe that this is gonna have a big impact on how much we're gonna spend on the front gate if we can get this up and going. And I think if you talk to each building, Adam, you were there at the meetings, I like to briefly, what's your